Good morning or afternoon, depending on what side of the world that you are on. And welcome to today's episode of Market Check, of course, brought to you guys by Because Bitcoin. A reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Welcome, guys. Happy Tuesday. Second day of our week. And you guys will not be surprised to see that the theme of really last week as well as yesterday is so far continued, right? Which is the fact that New York Open is met with a very, very strong selling presence. Is it grayscale? I saw something about how a lot of the grayscale redemptions were FTX creditors. So yeah, I mean, we just have a myriad of factors that are kind of playing out, both in the immediate term as we do have flows coming into the Bitcoin ETF, but we also have some baggage that previously has been weighing down on the market that's kind of coming due at the moment. So we're going to talk about all of that, the implications for the market, of course, and where we could potentially be looking for a bounce, guys. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max Jackus and Dr. Will's Outlook. Like I said, welcome, guys. I hope you've had a great start to your week. And real quickly, before we start sharing that big juicy alpha, guys, I'm going to ask you guys to smash that like button. It's early in the week. I know you guys can smash the like button. You should have plenty of energy left over still. So I would love to see you guys smash that like button and just do it now before we get started so I don't have to bug you again. But if not, I probably am going to bug you again, in maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. But good morning, guys. As far as the market goes, I mean, it's kind of been more of the same for what it's been the last week and a half. New York opens, the New York session opens, and Bitcoin spot begins to heavily sell off. And this has been the theme for, like I said, not just this past week, but last week as well. And we're now getting to pretty critical levels of support where we have filled bids, but it has not really been enough to necessarily lift price just yet. So we are in a situation where Bitcoin is now grinding into support. Very, very big support. Are we going to see bulls step in and lift this here, or is Bitcoin going to just continue sliding every day in New York session? It's a good question at this point, but I wish I had more to kind of commentate on equities today, guys. But it is the quote unquote window of weakness. I promise it's the only time I'm going to say that today. It is the quote unquote. I said I wouldn't say it again, but
we should all say it together. Just window of weakness.
It is, and it's kind of a meme at this point. So we're gonna find out whether or not the knowledge of the quote unquote wow causes the equity market to sell off further.
Tommy, all that matters is if things don't go straight up infinitely, okay, never pull back, then they're going to zero. All right. So that's just how markets work. I mean, I don't know how people don't know that, right? Like if you don't know that things can just, if they ever have a red week or a red month, they're going to zero. It's just I try to teach people this on a daily basis, man. Daily basis.
Well, some people don't know that you're being sarcastic. They literally tuned in because they're scared, and you just told them their bags are going to zero. Sarcasm is for the second half of the show.
Just helping
after
them.
They've already been reassured.
I'm letting them know I sold the top. They bought my bags, and they're going to zero.
All right.
I didn't sell the top. I'm just messing. I haven't sold anything, so I'm going to zero with you. But yeah. Anyways, like man, the space we live in when it comes to asset allocation, you would think that most people might have $5 invested. And that's why they act the way they do. Because if you have $5 invested, hey, that's all you got. Your $5, right? So you're really desperate to turn that around. But like if you got thousands, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, 10% ain't shit. Like it's really not. Not when you understand the market direction, right? Like if you know you're not going into a secular bull market, you're not selling your position. And why are you not? Oh, it's actually massive for somebody who's got that much money, guys. It's massive. Yeah, it is. And so are tax implications if you're selling in profit. If you're not selling at a loss and you're trying to sell off 8 figures to buy 2% lower, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. You're getting hit by taxes really freaking hard.
I have a question for Tucker here. Is that panda on your wall?
That is a panda, Jackus. I thought I'd show off the panda today, man.
Pandas are straight up in a straight line.
Let me just boom.
Yeah, that's
Rugged.
nice.
I tweeted on it yesterday, man. My people are absolutely sleeping. That they're gonna figure out hard when the bull run actually hits.
Let me do this. I know what you guys want to see. All right. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna spoil the rest of the show for you guys.
Here we go.
I'm not bearish. I'm not bearish here. If you wanted to sell your crypto, if you were interested in selling your crypto, it was when Bitcoin was above 45K. You had about a week-long window, give or take. You were seeing some signs of local distribution into a news-driven event. That was the time to de-risk if you wanted to do that. Okay. The time to jeet your bag is not on the first retest of higher time frame support after a 2-year accumulation range breakout. As far as I can tell, the bullish thesis has a very, very easy invalidation. And we're going to talk about that today. All right. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about individual names. We're going to talk about total. We're going to talk about total 2. We're going to talk about total 3. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about DXY. We're going to talk about USDT dominance. We're going to talk about it all.
We're going to talk about soybeans.
But I'm going to tell you right now,
maybe
you are not going to see me, emotionally capitulating spot bags when I believe we are in the early innings of a bull market on the first retest of a 500 to 600 day reaccumulation phase breakout. And Tucker, I apologize. I actually have to steal the screen because I was gonna share some stuff.
Oh, you got quick, Max? All right.
Just before you get it, I'll be really fast. So you don't want to pay 50% of your gains in taxes because you took short-term returns?
No, I don't.
Is that what you're telling me?
Mainly, I don't want to do that because I think we're going a lot higher in the not too distant future. If I thought we were going to go much lower, much lower, I would sell my bags because I'm nicely in profit on most of my bags. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, depending on where you live, there are major implications. Assuming you bought Bitcoin at 25 to 30K and now it's at 39, you're still in profit. But as we're coming into high time frame support, do you really want to try to sell 39 in order to buy back 37 while creating a taxable event? I mean, I'm not a CPA, but that doesn't seem like the smartest decision. Tucker, do I have your permission to Tommy?
Wait. Before you pull up the Tommy, can Tucker explain to us the magicianity of the current time frame?
Say that word again. Say that word one more time. I need you to say that.
No.
Magicianity. What did you say?
Yeah.
You want to know why it's on the 10-day?
Oh yeah, the 10-day.
Oh, you don't know about the 10-day. Oh man,
yeah,
you don't know about the 10-day, Jackus?
You don't know about the 10-day, man.
Because I wanted look at the 10-day. Look at this. So this is just the 12 and 21 EMAs. I also put the bull market support band on there, but that's on the weekly, right? But the 10-day, 12-21, we're coming right into the 12. If we still think we're back here somewhere, if you just made it all one band,
yeah,
it needs to hold, essentially, is what's going on.
So that's where we are right now, basically.
Yeah, and so I'd like to see that hold. It's also pretty confluent with
that's very clean, actually. If you zoom out and if you close all that, Mt. Gox is selling all their Bitcoin, which they have been doing since 2014, and you close all the news of Grayscale selling, then it's very clean chart,
Yeah. This is a monthly FBG. Boom. Yeah, so that's what I'd want to see. Anywhere in like 35 to 37 should be where we carve out a bottom. But
yeah.
Which would be like if you take all this away, and I'll give it to you in a second here, Max, I promise. But
Well, technically, if I were to Tommy it, I wouldn't. I would just take it right in the middle of what you're doing. So
it would be a perfect little one of these. Right.
Yeah, that's
right,
nice.
right into there. It would be perfect, man.
That's
but
so nice.
Yeah, it is. All right, you got it, Max.
The best is the
All right.
Takanachi
Oh
line.
man, look who it is. Look who decided to show up.
Apple Vision Pro.
Man.
He got the
That'll
pre-sale.
be me
He got the
next week.
pre-sale.
Yeah.
There is no second best, man.
I'll wear mine on the stream next week when I get it. I'm not even kidding. I'll do it.
Yeah, me too.
You didn't already get yours? I got mine.
All right,
I thought everybody already got theirs.
Let me steal this. All right, look, we're gonna talk about a favorite here, okay? And I know that Tucker's gonna like this one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any good reason to start fumbling your bags on the first retest. Actually, I was premature on this. I'm going to take this off the screen. We got to start with total 3. All right, we're going to start with total 3.
Oh, hold up. Let him cook. He's going to cook.
Yeah, look, that's right. Wait, I think we still have these. We still got these little guys.
Max, right draw the falling wedge.
Hold up.
Remember the one we were looking at?
Oh yeah, man, I got you. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, the people want to see it.
Let me cook. I got the spatula out. I got the frying pan all heated up, oiled up, ready to go. And let me just put the meat on there. Let me cook. All right. This, I mean, it gets a little warped because we're in log, right? So it's like if we were to look at it like this, you know, you can tell that the depth of the accumulation ranges were actually comparable, but log morphs it a little bit. But I have to put it in log so you can see. All right. So you can see. I have just a simple EMA band on here. I manually made it. It's got a 3-week, a 4-week, a 5-week, and a 6-week EMA here. Right now, we're looking at total 3. Okay. So this is basically the crypto asset market cap, less Bitcoin and less Ethereum. All right. Look, guys, I don't see how people are so bearish. I know it's scary. I know waking up and, you know, seeing everything deep red multiple days in a row is not fun. But it almost to me feels like a lot of people forgot what it's like trading in a bull market. And as soon as we get pullback days, you know, people just, they kind of lose their minds a little bit. And there is so much noise on the timeline. As far as I can tell, there is very, very clear invalidation, okay, across the board. We're going to go into total 3, total 2. We're going to go into all of it, okay? But after this mega accumulation range, we spent almost 2 years basically just doing nothing, chopping, ranging, reaccumulating. And this line that I have drawn here is like our bull market range low. All right. After we spent 500 and some days, 500 to 600 days reaccumulating under here, and we finally break out and we get a higher time frame retest. Finally, the first one we've gotten. Everybody wants to sell into support. You know, everybody's freaking out. And it actually feels very reminiscent to me of this drop. Okay. We spent 2 years reaccumulating, chopping. Now, granted, there were more dramatic moves in here. You know, this was a much more dramatic move. From the low to the high, it went up like 4x. Okay. Volatility is diminished both ways, to the, you know, the upside and to the downside. All right. But I look at this and I go, this is most likely where we're at right now. You know, contextually speaking, it makes a lot of sense. From a structural standpoint, it makes even more sense. And I have no interest in selling here. You know, at this point, if I'm interested in selling, which I'm not right now, what's going to happen is I would require us to probably spend like a month trying to hold here. And then we'd end up like slow bleeding down, you know, and being reaccepted back down here, you know, and I would consider probably not selling all of my bags because I don't think we're going to go on to make a new low. But if you lose like, you know, 420 billion for total 3, or, you know, 400 billion, you get a weekly close below there. Yeah, it's time to show some concern. But as of right now, I don't really see it. All right, now let's talk about total. All right, this looks similar as well, right? This is the exact same point in time, just zoomed in a little bit. All right, this is everything. Very, very similar. Let's look at total 2. Same exact thing, right? Contextually speaking, like, all of it is lining up. All of it looks very comparable. All right. First high time frame retest in a long time. Now, just because we got a lot of Soul fans on here, myself included, Let's find Sol. I think it's right here. I mean, look at Sol, right? I mean, look at Sol compared to ETH. This is the first high time frame retest that we've had. We went straight up in a straight line, similarly to what we did right over here. Right over here on ETH. This was basically when we formed our low and we moved off of the low in March of 2020. You know, we rocketed up 400%.
Let me know when it's good to
comparable
jump in on
move
here, Max.
over here.
No, Bill. No, you let him cook.
That's why I said let me know. Let me know.
You'll know. You'll know when the meal is ready. All right. So we had an explosive move comparable to this one that basically, you know, set our low. And then look what happened after these moves, guys. I mean, we don't just go straight up in a straight line, and people seem to forget that. But we had a 36% pullback on ETH from almost $500 to $300 before it went on to basically go straight up to 3,000 last bull market. Solana's been following this fractal religiously, you know, literally since its inception. Okay. Look at the charts. So what if we pull back right now from 125 and we pull back even 40%, go to $70? Or how about right here? 37% pullback. In 2020, we pulled back 37%. What if this was the pullback? You know, what if this is the higher time frame retest of a legacy support after a powerful reclaim and 500 to 600 days of reaccumulation? You know, as far as I can tell, that's what's happening right now. And I think we have pretty clear invalidation if it's not going to play out like that. But I'll tell you, the invalidation or the idea of, you know, emotionally de-risking into high time frame support is never a good idea. Never a good idea. It doesn't make any sense to me. Any sense. So yeah, I mean, look, is this ugly? Sure it is. It's always ugly. It is never pretty. Retesting high time frame support, it is never, ever, ever pretty. All right. I got a bunch of other charts here. Here's Bitcoin adjusted for the M1 money stock. I'm just going over some stuff I tweeted out earlier. Some of you guys have maybe seen this. Where we are right now is most likely comparable to where we were before we went to 69K. When we flipped our mid-range here. And look at every major top. This is Bitcoin down below. And then this is Bitcoin adjusted for M1 money stock. Every major top has occurred perfectly at the range high. Okay, this is going all the way back to 2019, and I could even take it further if I wanted to. So I'm looking at this and I'm going, you know, this to me feels like we're going to come back. We're retesting the mid range, and our actual top is going to be somewhere up here. Okay, and we're about to get another powerful move. All right. Additionally, on top of that, I think USDT dominance is basically just backfilling this region. I think we're coming back just as we did. This is USDT dominance. Look at where we rejected just recently. Okay, hang on. Let me get this on here. Look at where we just rejected from. From this demand zone for USDT dominance to the money, to the percent. Perfect. And I think we're going to come back and just basically do this at, maybe another little move up for USDTD and then a nuke down. But I want to talk about structurally how this typically plays out here. I mean, look at where, local tops have formed here. All right, where is Bitcoin? That's okay. We don't need it. This was the 64K Wyckoff distribution for Bitcoin. Actually, let me put this at the bottom of the screen. Do I still have it up here?
Max, the fire's building. The fire's building.
It is. Hang on. New price scale.
The Apple Vision Pro is showing me the way. We gotta get this rolling.
This is Bitcoin down below. This is USDTD. All right. Look at how we come back and we perfectly fill in these inefficiencies on USDT dominance. Okay, look at this. This huge move right here on USDTD, we came back and we filled in this inefficiency perfectly, and that was the top for Bitcoin. Okay, same exact thing right over here. For the double top for Bitcoin, same exact thing. We came back in, we filled in that inefficiency perfectly. Look at this line. All the inefficiencies, that whole move, that was the next top for Bitcoin. All right, in my opinion, we're about to do that exact same thing. There's some inefficiencies all the way up here on USDTD. Okay, they go all the way back to basically March and April of 2022 when the selling began during last bear market. Okay, what's going to happen here is we're going to come back, retest this supply at 6.74. Maybe we don't even need to do it perfectly. If it's a perfect retest, great. But we're basically going to round out here and take our next leg down on USDTD, and we're going to go to 4%, 4.25%. There is so much confluence. USDTD going down even more. Actually, I've got a legacy trend line to support this even further. Hang on. Look at this. Legacy trend line, which also marks out all the Bitcoin tops. All of them. Every single top. Right here, additional confluence at 4%. So USDT dominance looks prime for another leg lower. Bitcoin adjusted for M1 money supply is coming back to retest its mid-range before a move to the range high. You've got total 3, total, and total 2 all retesting their 1.5 to 2 year reaccumulation range breakouts. Okay, first high time frame break of structure and then retest. You've got a perfect example here on Sol doing just that. And everybody's freaking out. I'm so bullish here, it's crazy. I'm so bullish here. I don't understand the panic. I'll panic if we lose these levels. It's not here. It's not here.
What's that 2021 percentage move for total 3? Let's entertain something a little bit here from the lows.
I know what you want, Will. You want this. I know what you want. You want this, Will. You want your giant wedge.
Ooh, look at that. How many trillions?
You want from the 2021 low. You want the 2021 low, Will?
Yep.
So there's January 1st, 2021. 650%.
And ideally, that's right about where we're at right now. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just not, I'm just not seeing like
there's so much confluence in the chart. It's not even funny, Max. Like, yeah, if you just take your low to your that one for sure. And that's exactly where you hit your 1618 perfectly. I think you just came a little bit shy. Not a big deal. Always scalp your top by 5 to 10% is what I would tell people. Right? Yeah. Never take your top all the way. Take it 5 to 10% short. And if you do that, you would have caught the top of this. Not to mention if you were to do the low to the high of 2021, right? And you were, there you go. Yeah. The confluence is all there. It's all there. Like I don't know what to tell people. Like it's not brain surgery. It's not freaking heart surgery, guys. Like this is going to the doctor and they're giving you over-the-counter medicine for a sniffle. Like you got to understand context when you're looking at money flow and I always talk about flow and people are like, can you discuss flow, guy? It's not complicated. It's really not. We talked about it the other day. It's volume drop versus price up. And Max, you were here. We were talking about it, right? And I was like, when your vol drops off, your price wheedles into a support. It's looking to bounce. That's what it's looking to do. It's going into the support slowly. Your volume has dropped off a cliff. The only direction to go from there is up. And the reason for that is because your sell side pressure has ceased. That's why your volume has dropped. That's why you're at support. Like this is the same thing I saw at 25K when we were at 25K Bitcoin. I was like, vol drop, you're at support. You bled into it lightly. You never puked. We're going to rip. We're going to rip for Bitcoin. And ideally, I think that these totals here are really very much reading a similar signal.
Yeah, they totally are. I mean, again, like I think we're going to do something like this, and it can take weeks, if not even like a month and a half to sort this out. And if we do something like this instead, and we try to hold here, and we lose like 75, and we start bleeding down and reaccepting under 75 on Sol, then you have a problem. All right, same thing here. Okay. My opinion, if you come down here for total 3 and you reaccept under 400 billion, you got a problem. Okay. For total, I'll have to zoom out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, for total, you have a little bit more wiggle room. But, I mean, total, it's probably like 1.3 mean, it's probably like this level. All right. If you lose 1.3, so you got a little ways to go, right? But we're going to try to hold here, hopefully curl up. And if you can't, and you get reacceptance down here, then you got a problem. Okay. Then you're going to come back, fill this, which we don't want. But right here, you want to fumble the bag right here? Man, that could never be me. That could never be me. I got to give it a chance.
It's mind-boggling to me because and I do see statements like this, and I'm gonna help a couple people correct it. And they're always like, well, we don't have infinite cash flow. Do you have a job? Yes. Ideally, yes. If you're investing, you have a job. So if you have a job, right, then you have an income. If you have an income, you have some disposable cash flow. Doesn't matter if it's $100, $50, $20, $1,000, right? $2,000, $10,000. What matters is you have some. The point of investing is to continue to invest, even if it doesn't feel like a lot, because what doesn't feel like a lot now can become a lot in the top of a bull. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. A $50, $100, like, I don't know if people paid attention to 2021. You saw people like literally put $100 in the Shiba, turn it into like, $1 million. Put $100 in the safe moon, turn it. Now, granted, it's anomalies, but I'm giving the more extreme side of the conversation, but I am giving context to what I'm talking about. And ideally, if we expect the entire market cap to rise at an exponential move, like everything's gonna rise. Even your bottom of the barrel garbage is gonna rise. I mean, I talked about it literally Q4 last year, Max, and I was like, going into Q1 of this coming year, I'm looking for trash. I'm looking for chewed up bubble gum. 5 homeless people went through it, and now I got to pick it up, put it in my mouth after I found it at the bottom of the dumpster. God. And these are things that I found, and literally I'm flipping stuff for 10x's, 20x's overnight because I'm buying literal garbage. Granted, yes, there's a skill set involved with that, but the point being is I wouldn't be able to sell the crap I've been selling if there wasn't liquidity. In a bear market, none of this shit would fly, the stuff that's going on right now. And it's only going to get worse. These things only get worse. Where do scams happen the most, Max? They tend to happen at the bottom of the market, the bear market, and at the top. If you notice, people are scamming less and less. Shitcoins are rugging less and less. And they're doing that with the anticipation of knowing that they can build more liquidity going into the bull. So why would they rug people here when they can take this thing all the way and really capitalize going into the bull market and make people believe some kind of cult mentality when it comes to some shitcoin?
Great point. I agree with you, Will. I agree with you. I also think this has the possibility of playing right here. Will, we've talked about this. We did this live on the show together. Yeah, we talked about crypto lagging and doing something like this. I think this might play. I really do. And just to be clear, that does mean more pain potentially, which is confluent with a couple things that we just talked about. I mean, that could potentially mean Bitcoin down at 36, 35, even a wick to 34K. You got to prepare yourself for that. But why would where else am I looking for confluence, right? I mean, let's just say Bitcoin goes down to, let's just say 35K. Okay, 10% more. Can you handle that? Yeah, it's crypto. You better be able to handle something like that. It's not going to be fun, but you got to be able to handle it. So let's go back to our other points of confluence. If Bitcoin goes down 10%, which, by the way, I don't know if it has to. Hypothetically, if it did, where are we looking? All right, well, I've already mentioned to you guys that I think that USDTD is going to go up a little bit more to 6.75%. So again, negative correlation to crypto asset prices. So USDTD goes to 6.75%. Right now it's at 6.4. All right. So that one goes up, crypto goes down a little bit more. Additionally, right here, looking at Bitcoin adjusted for M1 money stock, we're not quite at the mid-range yet. We could certainly pull back just a little bit more, guys. We're hanging out just above it. We don't have to. It doesn't have to be a perfect retest because we technically could just be right here as well. Like we could be retesting this base right here. Like this might be your retest, So just consider that as well. Like you don't know exactly where it's going to bottom out. You kind of know the region, but this might be it. We're on top of this base right now. for Bitcoin divided by M1 money stock. So I'm just saying, like, if we did pull back to the mid-range here and USDTD went up a little bit more before lower, well, guess what that means for Bitcoin? Guess what that means? That probably means we go down a little bit deeper.
Yeah, but
what it is.
And Tucker, we outlined this too, especially with the SPX Bitcoin. I was like, it's so freaking identical. I was like, it's so identical on the move here. It's just, and nobody wanted to listen to me when I told them that Bitcoin's lagging SPY. No, I'm not saying our team, but like I literally had people in the comments, they're not following each other. They're not doing it. Like, dude, it's literally lagging it. I'm like, it's good. And the discussion was, you guys go back to the streams. I said, you got to fill your flush. Everybody told me, no, you don't. Did we fill the flush? We filled the entire freaking flush. The entire flush got filled all the way up. Tit for freaking tat. And in reality, we actually went a little bit higher than the flush. If you look at it, that's a higher high than the previous flush. And that's what a lot of people are ignoring too. And that's why I think we're going to bounce relatively, and we're going to bounce really free. Let's see look at how the SPY bounced. Like, these shorts are going to get freaking annihilated at some point.
Yeah, but you need that climactic selling to get that, which we haven't seen. Yes.
What? Here's what's Matt Tucker. All you got to do, because retail, they're so wired for instant gratification. All it'll take is a week to get them to just stop paying attention or just start shorting the market. Ultimately, right? Like, you don't even have to drop price. You just have to hold it in a painful position, pin it, and then they're going to start shorting.
No, look at SPY, man. Look at SPY. You needed that nuke to 4,100.
That's not a nuke, though. It's a drop into a bounce, into a drop, into a bounce, into a drop.
I know, but that was like 3 days of aggressively gapping down to get that vertical move.
I mean, we might need a move like the USDC move, where like we were waterfalling and the weekly ends up looking like this. You know what I mean? Where we're down there and you look and it feels like it's completely over, but then it closes as like this hammer or whatever the hell you want to. I don't even trade candlesticks like that.
Look,
it gets sucked up. So it literally might do this, man. Like it might just kind of and then just like this.
Yeah. Just grab everybody,
and you don't even basically just it runs these just to liquidate you, and so that all the bears just get euphoric and they think we're going back down here to like 24, and then they literally just rip face from there, man. And it's a story as old as time itself, man. It really is.
I have people literally telling me that Bitcoin's going to 27K. They're telling me Bitcoin is going to 25K, and like some of them are followers, some of them are friends. The friends, I tell them they're freaking high. The followers, I try to be more polite to. And I've
seen how you interact with your followers. What are you talking about?
I asked my friends if they started doing crystal meth. But like
that's just being inquisitive, Will. That's being a good friend, checking in on them.
So I'm like, I don't know where you come up with these numbers from, but you must have started meth last week. But yeah, so I think so many people they get caught in these I love these. Like, I've learned over time, and granted, now Max, this is like 10 years of just watching these charts play. Okay, I've learned over time to literally just look at charts and love red candles, love them, like. Whereas everybody else has looked at things over time and learned to love green candles, right? And I don't love them in the factor that my portfolio is not going up. I love them in the factor of what side of the market you're on and what kind of opportunity they can provide. So they'll provide two opportunities. They'll provide your flush opportunities, which is what happened on the left, which are really good for shorting, right? Or they'll provide entry opportunities, which is currently what's happening on this side of the market, which they're providing right now if you're looking for entries. Because I know in a week or two or a month or 2 months, however long it takes for this thing to play out, you're going to see people like, where should I look for an entry? Where should I start putting my money once this thing bounces? Once it's back above that wick, not below it, because we don't want discounts. We want very expensive things, right? When you go to a used car dealer and they're like, hey, here's a used car, and you take it out, the check engine light pops on. You bring it back, you say the check engine light popped on, and the car dealer says, all right, well, that's going to be another $5K that you're going to pay for the car. Wouldn't you be excited? Wouldn't you be excited to pay another $5K for a car that the check engine light popped on, that you were just test driving, and it's used? Imagine the excitement there, right? That's like people that want to buy shit above the previous high and ask for entries above the previous high. Like that's at least that's the way I look at it, right? I'm like, dude, I got some rocks in my front yard. They're worth at least $1 a piece. Where do you get those valuations? I came up with them, but they're worth at least $1 a piece. So you can come buy them all. I'll count them out for you. Just bring the money.
Do you think we do something like this, guys? Do we put in a big fake out bounce to like 44K first, and then just destroy everybody and go way deeper than we're talking about here?
I don't think so.
Or do you think it's just?
I think if we go up, we're going to like 50K, and if we just hang out here, we probably go tap 36.5, and that's
because
it.
I remember with Equities taking the drop that they did. I remember this is what I kept focusing on. It was the monthly level. So we kind of retested this like monthly EMA ribbon that I have here. Okay. But additionally, actually, let me just like remove these. Let me remove these lines quick, because I want to talk about this, because hang on. Okay. So what I kept looking at here with the S&P 500, I kept saying this on the show, guys. I kept saying, guys, this is the first retest, like monthly time frame retest of this base that we spent a year carving out. All right.
We can put that on Bitcoin.
And then that's where I'm going with this, is I want to just entertain this scenario that, what if it's like a way more dramatic, way more dramatic than expected retest of a monthly base, which would technically be at like 30K. That's kind of the 1-for-1 equivalent of what we did with Equities. It's way different because Bitcoin was way more oversold than Equities. Okay. Second, this bottoming structure was, materially different. If we want to count like this high right here, this would be it right here. It wouldn't be 30; it'd be more like 32. Additionally, we could count this as a monthly level. Bitcoin's deviation below is bigger, so maybe this is your monthly level. I don't know.
If we retest 30K, hat comes off. I'll be a fake bear on the timeline, and then I'll pick up the Snickers and I'll eat it on stream live. All right, this is what it is.
So Will, you don't think 30K's got a chance in hell?
I think people are absolutely fucking high if they think it's going to 30K. And 30K is the new 22K. It's the new 33K. It's that low that everybody's looking for. That's not gonna fucking happen. Like, and I'm telling you this not from the perspective of I hope. I'm telling you this from the perspective of directionality, right? Directionality never favors entries when you're directionally trying to find entries on the opposite direction of the market. So right now the market's in an uptrend, regardless of whether people want to accept that or not. I can tell you, if you don't accept that, you need to go outside, get some air, maybe see a psychiatrist, because you're definitely going to need medicine to take care of that. And then on top of that, just step away from the charts, step away from them, because there's a definite uptrend going on with Bitcoin. There's a definite uptrend in stocks.
I just don't know how deep it could go. Realistically, because if we're talking about this trading 1-for-1 like Equities do, it's not the same chart, but there were some pretty like recognizable. We'll just take it from the close here, right? Like pretty close, something like this. Again, it's not perfect, but we're going to kind of try to massage it here. You could technically go really deep here on Bitcoin and still be in a structural uptrend. And that's what we kept talking about with Equities, is like, you could go really, really deep here because we were so extended. You could go really, really deep and still be in a structurally sound uptrend.
But what do you think the likeliness of that is versus us trending more to 45 into the trend line?
Dude, this is a great point here. You guys are in denial. Grayscale has 550K Bitcoin left, 550,000. There is no reason why GBTC owners wouldn't sell. Then add Mt. Gox's stack. Bitcoin's price can literally nuke to 5K.
This is legit what I was discussing on today's Discord call. Exactly this. But not in the way the guys interpreting it.
Yeah, like denial. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, JP. I'm sure you've traded, Cheerios on the charts regularly. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Will just
what?
God, Will.
Anyways, look, people do this shit all the time. They do it with USDT, they do it with Binance. They say, oh, they're just gonna dump their whole bags on the market, guys. Yeah, they're gonna go open market sell. That makes I posted on this yesterday. It's the stupidest take ever. It's literally just dumb. Like if you get an institution or somebody with a lot of money, they're gonna sell wall the market, or they're gonna OTC.
Well, it's not up to Grayscale. It's they have to do whatever their LPs say. If an LP wants out, they market dump. That's real.
No, they can first know, but they're definitely repositioning the extra that they have. I'm not talking about what LPs have. I'm talking about they have Bitcoin.
It's not a fund, it's a trust, right?
Yes,
so they're not
but what I'm saying is they have accumulation beyond what investors are holding in anticipation for new investors, as most do. And that's what I'm talking about. That is not getting dumped. And you're not going to see every investor in Grayscale come in and just pull out. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but they should. If I was in Grayscale, I'd be out.
I mean, there's tax implications to that. That's the other thing too, right? Yeah. Like it's not gonna just happen overnight. Like I can tell you 1,000 different reasons why it's not gonna happen overnight. You're gonna have people at different entries at different times, and they're just stuck because of tax implications. They're not gonna sell because they're gonna get absolutely obliterated at 50. Think about it. You're up off of 15K, right? Or you're up off of 30K. We'll say 30K. We'll just go with 30K. You can't sell if you bought at 30K. Not unless you want to eat 50% in taxes.
But Will, have you considered this?
Because you're within the window of fucking Christ. You're within the window of short-term games. Like this is what I mean by people that understand these markets. Like you have to understand there's implications to certain actions within a certain amount of times with trading. And we understand this as traders too. Like, do you have to know this as a trader, right? Like if you don't know this as a trader, good luck, because when the IRS figures out what you've been doing, you're going to get hit, and you're going to get hit hard.
So I'm playing around with this, guys, and part of me thinks that it actually makes more sense to compare Bitcoin to the NASDAQ versus the S&P 500. I can delete this.
Agreed.
I just think it makes more sense contextually. The NASDAQ didn't have as deep of a retrace as the S&P 500 did. I mean, it basically came back in. Like, if we were to look at these moves and try to say, they're one for one, I would view basically this right here as this move up here on the NASDAQ. Like, this is your one for one.
Well, it's even Qs too. Qs didn't even come back and retest this low. Qs bounced before it retested as low.
This is the NASDAQ, because QQQ is the NASDAQ ETF. So this is QQQ.
Oh, yeah. So if you scroll out to Max, this is the other thing that I think a lot of people didn't pay attention to on Bitcoin. Sorry, I didn't notice that.
So we might literally be doing this right now. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I mean, this also could be it.
So do you see where we're holding support at right now, Max? Could you draw like one of those boxes like that inside of that range?
Yes, just give me a moment.
Between those two ranges.
I'm just marking this up real quick. All right, where do you want a box, Will?
Right in between those two ranges that you drew there. There's two supports.
Do you want like a box like right here?
Yes, but on Bitcoin.
Okay.
Yeah, you can leave that one there too. So a lot of people think that something has to be filled here. Look how much Bitcoin already played in that area. There was no reason to stay in that area, let alone come back to it. Now, if you scroll out more on Bitcoin, Max, and pull that more to the left, all that area is filled. It's filled. Like, you're using it as support at this point. That's why Bitcoin stopped there. Like, look at the high of January. Look at the high of the previous low before we bounced. That's what you're using as support right now. And this is what I keep on trying to show people, like, hey, a lot of that whole area that we just shot straight through, that everybody thinks that has to come back and fill, it's already been filled. It was filled like years ago. Like, we're literally so I'll add some context to price action and how it moves. You tend to come back into liquidity zones, and you tend to either fill them or not fill them based on, accumulation or distribution that happened in those zones. All distribution and accumulation happened in January, and then it happened at the end of 2021 in that prior zone that we're currently dipping into. We don't have to fill that zone at all. And even if we came back into it, we could just partial fill. So that's kind of the other thing too. This is why I said 38K holds, because there's so much confluence all the way to the left, so much price action move. Like, look at January. There's literally just up and down in that whole zone. They're just literally flooding that zone with liquidity. Look at the end of 2021. They're flooding that whole zone with liquidity right there.
I mean, this could play right here. I mean, seriously, it could play. I like how this feels, honestly.
This is the 25K.
Action at 38K is going to be pretty telling, Will. Like, if we trade into 37, like a 37 handle, hang out at 38K for a few days, I would say that's not really that encouraging of a response from demand. But if we get, I mean, I could see, because the naked point of control from the vertical accumulation that we had on Bitcoin in November, I think that's sitting right around 37.5K. So I do see the case for, we trade into there, and if we get a really strong reaction, we could have a very big bounce from there. But I also, I adhere to what you're saying, Max. I think we could definitely be where the S&P was in June or July, and if that's the case, we got a few more months of chop of bear chop on our hands before.
You mean like October?
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you this. Look, I'll give you guys some context, because I don't mind being held accountable for what I say.
Shocking to hear that, Will. I had no idea. You're usually so timid.
Look, at the end of the day, I posted it weeks ago before we even broke 45K. I said your supports are 42, 38. And really, if we get below 37, in my opinion, you can cut all the way to 33. Don't even bother trying to fill anything else in between there. You're going all the way to 33. And that's like as bearish as I can get. That's literally as bearish as I can get. I laid out the levels for everybody. I told them, like, look, these are the levels I see of high time frame confluence. This is where you'll retest if you're going to retest lower. You're not going any lower than that. That's it. That's all you're getting.
And guys, speaking of bearishness, the likes are super bearish right now. I know y'all are enjoying this stream. I just know it. I know you're enjoying this. If you are enjoying it and you're having fun out there, please consider just taking one quick moment and hitting that thumbs up button for us, guys. It really helps us out. We show up every single day. We work our hardest, just like you guys show up every single day as well. And we love doing this, but we need a little bit of support from you guys. So if you are enjoying it, please just take one quick moment and hit that thumbs up. Furthermore, if you are new here, this is Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. This is our daily live YouTube and X show with the full cast that you are looking at right now. Jackus, me, Snorlax, Tucker, and Will's Outlook. We basically come on here for, an hour, 2 hours, and just talk charts, price, narratives, speculate, have some fun, try to provide some alpha. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel as well. But let's run those likes up, guys. Again, it really helps push the content. Otherwise, we wouldn't ask. So we got 100 people watching on YouTube. We got 56 likes. It's got to be 1-to-1, guys. Come on now. It just takes one quick moment. Please hit that.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be the villain when it comes to Bears and Bulls. I guess Bulls are now the villains. That's okay. I don't mind.
Did you just say get Tommy? Oh, man.
Go ahead, at the end of the day, like, I just don't want to see people get wrecked because they believe that they're going to get a price. This is not going to happen. Like you guys have watched too many Disney movies, right? You've watched too much Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That's not real. I just want to tell you guys that Santa's not real. Going below 30K is not real.
Santa's not real.
I'm just going to let you guys know. And maybe nobody's told you that before, but this is just the truth. Oh man! All right. Do you care if I get into some charts here? I guess Matt or
hang on there.
Tucker's got the propaganda going. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's good propaganda.
Yeah, there it is, boys. Little channel. We're gonna keep going up this channel. Also, let me just speed my propaganda. All right, we've got support here. Right, this line. Jack has found another one, but I like this one. We got a 2-week and a monthly FVG right below us. We just tapped the EQ, the middle of the 2-week. We have boom, boom. Am I on the 10-day? Good. 12, 21, 20, and 21 EMAs and SMAs. Bull market support band is set to the weekly. Obviously, we're on the 10-day for the 12 and 21, but this is somewhat concrete, guys. This is a lot to chew through, honestly, if you're bearish. I mean, this is
that grind up's gonna be hard, bro. That grind.
I said Barry said hold my beer.
Yeah, I know. He's been trying, but this is where you want to see the stand, man. This is it. Like, you want to see 38.8. If not, this would be so perfect. Like this level 36.5 would be unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, look, I dream too sometimes, Tucker. But those dreams
$2
don't come
grand.
true.
That's two. Right. That's
they don't 5%. Come true.
That's nothing.
Do you guys remember 22K?
That's an hourly candle.
Does everybody remember 33K?
33K. Oh yeah, no. Everybody who still wants this, not happening. I'm sorry. Everybody wants 32 to 34. Get out of here. Shut up and bid.
I'm just saying, like,
they already have. They're already fully exposed.
The people who want 32 are fully exposed.
They bought the top.
No, they're sidelined. They're sidelined.
Oh, the sideline people.
I'm saying they're not asking for 32K, man. I really don't think there are that many people asking for it.
Dude. Listen, I'm pulling up a Tommy and stealing the chart.
Everyone wants 32.
It's hard to get a word here. And
how come I'm the only one that can't steal charts?
A chart and drop some alpha, right? Because I see lots of people dropping, their emotions in the comments, especially this JP guy. But I'm gonna show you something that's unquestionable, and I've actually went all the way back as this chart allows me to, and every single time that the H4 RSI on ETH was this low, which is like 16.6, we made either the bottom or at least a pause for a month, right? Look at that. I'll go through every single time this happened. So right now we are here. This is the bottom. This is prior to the flush, right? So basically flush, then sideways, one last shakeout. That can totally happen. You could get something like, some bullshit like this, then final one, and that's your bottom. So something definitely like this. Like, it doesn't mean exactly that from here we are mooning, not at all. But you need to understand how deeply oversold the market is, just as you are getting released all that FUD. And we found it ludicrous that people are believing in empty goks unloading their bitcoins. That's been legit used at every support since 2014. And people are still falling for it, right?
Jack,
so look at this, guys. Wait. Well,
yeah, wait.
Will's the cook interruptor today.
That's why I'm on fire today, guys. Like I'm heated. Like,
listen, I'll go mute after this, and you guys can cook. But
No.
here,
I just want to add context.
here, each time bottom, right? March, straight bottom. FTX, right? The most heavy, panic bottom, right? Does it mean that we went straight up from there? No, like in March, surely we went straight up, but it doesn't mean that. Here we made the bounce, then revisited the level, right? Totally possible. But still, this was basically the bottom, right? Then you go and look at this one, right? It wasn't exactly, this was the peak bear market. This was the peak bearish euphoria, right? And it wasn't the exact bottom, but we did, like, whenever we hit this level, that legit meant the, like, forever bottom, right? So this is the one. Then here, this was during the peak Luna sell-off. This was the heavy shit happening around. It still meant that and it wasn't exactly right here, right? It was right here, and we still got one last sell-off, but it at least mean a pause for 30 days. Here it meant the bottom once again. Then you get nothing. Look, COVID, right? And back then people were like, you cannot be buying because RSI is so low. And that was during peak COVID. When people told you, you cannot be doing that.
Let's go deeper.
There are people in the streets dying. I'm not trying to make jokes on this or anything, just saying what people said back then, right?
I remember that.
And that meant the freaking bottom before, like, I don't know, 10,000% or something, right? Look at this one. Bottom, right? Bottom. Here, okay, this was not the exact bottom, but it paused for a significant amount of time and we followed after the bottom, right? Here, look at that. Pause for how long? Right here, pause for 60 days, right? Here, once again, strong bounce after it. And this is as much as the chart allows me to go. This was, the last two ones. So yes, there is a, like, it doesn't have more history than that on H4 for me. But once again, what I'm trying to say is how freaking oversold the market is. And yes, we can get a, maybe we pause and we get one last flash where, like, the RSI does, maybe it bounces and then there is a higher bounce, but the market goes slower. And then, but we are very close, guys. Be careful fading this. There is a lots of, like, we still have an intact, okay, we have an intact weekly market structure, right? We have it's as simple as this, right? You get a bounce, you get a higher low, you get a higher high, higher low, higher high, right? Now, I would not want to see us losing this confluent with the range, right? That would be bad. But until that happens, we are technically, really, we are in a bullish market structure. And confluent with this, and that you have all that FUD coming around, so much panic, I'm just saying, guys, be careful. Be careful, thinking this goes to hates. Because as I've shown to you, each time, this was a significant moment in the charts.
Jackus, could you show them how the Binance collapse worked out for them?
Maybe Tucker can.
Real quick, Tucker, let me get on some of these charts. I got some propaganda. We're gonna switch roles.
And BNB, right? Well,
nah, just some charts in general.
Yeah.
Well, I asked you to clean up the bottoms, though, man. They're too busy. It's hard to see.
I forgot to take that out the chart. My bad, guys. That's my only charts link. I bet you guys never saw it.
What do you charge per month?
This is why you can't steal charts.
I literally just Googled that, hoping that you actually had some, like, onlycharts.com that you made. turns out it's not real.
Oh man. I must have forgot a dot or something in there. My bad, guys. Sorry. Oh. All right. So
right now we are in a period of only fun.
only fun. So I gave you guys 3 ranges roughly before. You had price, play within 2, and really you could break this into 2 ranges, but I just broke it into 1. Plays better on the weekly because then you can kind of see what's going on over here, why that's constructed the way it constructed. Previous high over here. Like this isn't hard. It's not rocket science, guys. Look, you can put peanut butter on bread, right? Then you can understand this. So if that's the case, and we get up here and we're looking at these charts, you got all this consolidation range, all this again. Everybody said this was a distribution. Everybody said this was distribution. They didn't understand the context of the move. Again, vol run, vol drop, right? What does vol drop mean? It means less interest on the sell side, less interest on the buy side. Everything is halted. But guess what? When vol drops going up, it means that interest can be peaked going higher. And so price pushes higher. Boom. Now, what liquidity zone did we target? Let's see. Oh, this one right here. Why didn't we target this one? Because it's already filled. It's already filled. You had your consolidation, your run through. Like this thing's been ran through multiple times. There's no reason to come after this. Absolutely zero. Now, does it mean you can't wick in here? Sure, there's a lot of wicks in here, right? There's a lot of wicks in here. Come right in and right out. Like, again, guys, like understand the context of the move. Look, I'm going to clear these charts. I'm going to make this so simple for you guys. So simple. Look, if you got a 5-year-old in the room, I'm sure they can interpret this better than you can. So let's go ahead and let's get into the chart. We're going to remove everything. All right, we're going to make this super simple. So if I put a line like this, right, and I put a line like this, and you had something bouncing here, what direction would that be going? Anybody? Max, Tucker, what direction would this be going?
I'm just gonna.
Sorry, I feel like I gotta teach children. Yeah, I would assume it would continue to bounce up, right? And as long as it's held, what should I interpret for the market?
I'm going to show you, Will, because I'm going to Tommy it. This is what you should interpret for the market right here.
An eventual blast off.
Back to you.
And again, it's not rocket science, guys. Like this is the easiest layup in your life. Look, what has happened here? All right, is you have a coach. You're like 12 years old. Your coach has literally picked you up, set you right against the rim, and said, just put the ball over top the hoop and drop it in. Yet half of you are trying to move the ball to the left of the hoop and drop it and say it missed, and this sucks. Because you're trying to make it more difficult than it has to be. The hoop's literally in front of you. Again, this isn't a hard concept. Look, uptrend, run. I'm going to show you again. Look, Ethereum. This isn't the first time, guys. This isn't magic. It's not the first time. Oh, look at that, guys. Look at that. That's a second time. Second time it's happened. Last market. Look. 1, 2, run. 1, 2, run.
Well,
Okay.
hang on now. Hang on. I can't let you get away with that.
I mean, yeah, we had another bounce.
You just said 1, 2, and you skipped that. You know,
we skipped the low. Yeah,
there's one.
Okay, we'll go 1, 2, 3. Who cares? Anyways, the point being is this is more like
trying to sneak that in, Will. I'm gonna let you cook, but I can't let you get away with that.
This is more like
No. Will, you can't.
But okay, either way. Look, the trend is your friend until it isn't. Look at this, guys. Look, rocket science, right? I mean, you had to have gone to college to see 2 bounces on a line, guys. It's very, very, very difficult to understand how this works. 1, 2, bounce. Oh, look at this. 1, 2. Maybe we get a third. Maybe, right? Bounce. But what's the ultimate direction? What's
Straight
the
up.
Guys, we're
ultimate
kind of
duration?
ripping. We're kind of ripping.
It's absolutely to the upside.
Chill.
Like you guys are freaking high. Like talking about I'm gonna wait sideline
Guys.
to take entries. Like just understand these markets, guys.
What?
Chill, Tucker. Chill. You do not
Yeah,
get
you
excited.
you can't say anything, otherwise it gets worse.
Oh no!
Oh man.
Who did this?
You guys hear it?
Yeah,
Like-
I can hear it.
Good.
Look, all I'm gonna tell people is the GPTC, the next pandemic. You know, your mom going to the grocery store and actually buying you food. It's just not gonna happen. All right, these things are not gonna happen. So at the end of the day, you need to go buy your own groceries, right? And you need to pay attention to the markets and not be sideline owners. That's not investment advice at all. Like I don't give financial advice. I just tell people, you know, the Easter Bunny is not real, Santa's not real, but markets are. So which one should you be invested in?
Dude, what do we make of Sui being so strong?
Bro,
It's gonna
Max,
We ride the back.
Max, the only person supporting me on Sui was Jackus. I'm just gonna call it.
Thank you.
All right.
And you were the
I'm
one
just gonna
calling
call
it
it.
very,
I'm
very
pretty sure Tommy's been bullish Sui too.
Yeah, Tommy's been
Oh yeah, no,
extremely
Tommy,
bullish.
but Tommy's always bullish at the right times. That's different. All right, that's different.
Man, we need it. You know, on agri, whenever there is a large liquidation, we need it. Monster kill.
You could probably get somebody to code that in.
For sure.
Custom audio.
Oh, it's over.
We should we should add that to something that we're building.
Yeah, we should.
Now that I think about it.
We can do that. We can do whatever we want.
I hate to come in with like villain energy, but you just
No, you don't.
people don't get
No,
it.
you
No, you
don't.
don't. No, you don't.
Like you gotta understand, like when you're on the right side or the wrong side. I shorted 2022. I wasn't one of those people said, "Hey guys, we're gonna get in our bounce. Just go ahead and buy here all the way down." I literally told people like, "Hey, you're gonna get destroyed. Just start shorting the market, short everything." And you know, people laughed at me then too. Didn't work out too well for the people on the other side of that trade. But I will say this: like, you're getting another opportunity. How often does this opportunity come around? Every 4 years. What's the average lifespan of every person? Let's say about
I think
60.
men in the US, maybe 75, you know.
60, 70. Yeah, we'll go with that. So you'll get like 10 more opportunities, and maybe you'll hit 2 of them if you keep on thinking the way you're thinking. And that's not going to be much. That's not going to be much liquidity because of how much you lost through your life. So again, you have to pay attention, right? And you have to understand when opportunity has presented itself, aka the opportunity to go ahead and make money, and when opportunity has left, right? Green opportunity has left. Red opportunity has presented itself. And so many people have this backwards. You know what it is, Max, right? They condition us in society. How do they condition us? I'll give you, this isn't some weird conspiracy crap. Green light, red stop signs. Like, think about it. Think about it, right? So when people see red, they think stop. They think caution. They think, oh, I don't need to be involved with that. When people see green, it's buy. It's that Jim Cramer thing where he's sitting there like twitching back and forth with Tourette's, screaming buy.
Dude, what do you guys make of Jim Cramer literally just fudding Bitcoin like it's his full-time job?
It's gonna bounce.
He's
Like,
trying to manifest a bottom, Max.
He is.
Either he's trying to manifest a bottom, or he knows that it's like the crypto bros that are behind the, you know, the fade Jim Cramer sentiment that was created a few years ago. So this is like his revenge arc.
I was thinking
Dude,
the same
he's
thing.
been nailing it.
He has
been
been.
nailing it.
He
man.
has been. Yeah, he has been. I'll give him that.
He's probably just gotten long and was like, all right, I'm gonna fuck Bitcoin here. with it, my
Yeah,
lunch break.
yeah. He's looking for the bounce. Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, I'll tell you this: if Bitcoin flips 40K again, I think it's going higher.
I would like to see 41 or 42 flip.
No, bro. Like I think 40K is going to be a big sentiment change. Like because we dropped pretty low below 40.
Yeah, I agree as well.
You flip 40, you're going at least 45. Sorry,
yeah.
What happens if you go to 45, Tony?
It might be resistance. It might break out. We'll see.
We had a reclaim of 40, then we lost 40, then we had a reclaim of 40, then we lost 40 again, and if we reclaim 40 again, then I agree with higher. 40 will be a battle though. And by the way, Max, look at that USDT dominance chart that I kept on preaching about at that supply. Look at that wick.
Yeah, that's
a little mobile.
Let's can we turn the sounds down a little bit?
Are they too loud?
They're a little loud.
It's really just that I'm starting to get a gambling problem.
How do I do this?
Oh, you don't want a gambling addiction? Is that what you're telling me?
It's getting worse, Will.
Tucker, why don't you pull up your
the addiction show?
No, it's... Oh, there it is. That's cool. Do you
Tucker,
not
why
like
don't
the
you pull
Agger,
up your why don't you pull up your charts and show us what you've been working on? I know you got some Tucker Nachi lines. I already know it. It's a guarantee.
I still got the Agger going in the background. There we go. What am I on? Oh, I'm on the 5 second. Oops. You guys weren't supposed to do that.
That's Tucker's secret trading time.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't
talk about that. Yeah, I do have some lines, man.
What would you guys do if Capo was right on the ETF, like to the T, in the sense that he called the top, and then I think he had like what 34, 35 as the bottom with no bounces in between. He's long the whole way down though, Will. That's the thing. He's been longing the whole way down. That's what's funny about it. What would you say if he ended up calling it exactly right and then missed the entire move?
Bro, like
just couple things.
Just capo things, honestly. Yeah.
How does he have followers at this point? That's all I'm trying to figure out. Like, are those bots?
He's got a lot of followers, man.
That's ridiculous. Like, he paid for a lot of bots.
He's like a Jim Cramer of crypto at this point.
Yep, there it is. That's what I'd like. There it is.
So what you're telling me is just play the inverse of the market, and then people will pay more attention. Got it.
Oh, I mean, dude, what are we even talking about? We need the 10-day. What are we even talking about? Look at that.
Concrete.
There's too much.
It swings. I'm telling. Look, Tommy, like the dude's been on point too. Like he's the thing is like we don't sit here on a daily basis just for the audience and like have conversations on like price and just come to agreements. Like sometimes we talk about price and then somebody in the group will agree or somebody, some people will disagree, and that's just how it rolls. And I think like Tommy's been nailing these pretty well too. Like we've been pretty confluent on a lot of these moves also. Same thing with Jackus, same thing with Max. It just depends on the time of the market, but that 37K is looking better and better, especially with the confluence of what you got going on right there. And that's what we were talking about the other day. And I was looking at that same roll spot, and I was looking at it from a pretty high position. Again, like this wasn't the hardest move. You got the close below 45K. You were looking for low 40s, right? You get below 42, you're looking for 38, 37, 36, not 36, not 36, 37. At the lowest, I think it was like 37.5, 37.3, something like that was the confluent level. And then if you break that level, you're probably going straight down to 33, like a flush move, like probably not even like stopping at that point. Yeah, just running for it.
I think
if you were to have some sort of event like that, Will, and you get like a wick or a cascade into 33 or 34 with no bounce, like for me, I'm shoving along, honestly, because that's complete like spread blowout.
Yep.
Big
all longs are out.
out. Yeah. I mean, that for me is just a shove long, probably all the way back to like 50K.
But I think that like for most traders, they see that though. And I think the market maker sees that. And that's why I think they're not going to give it to us.
Yeah.
Because they know we will act on that immediately as soon as it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, we might be like here too, guys.
Oh,
I could
Dude,
see
we're going
that.
higher.
I mean, it looks more so like this, but I could see like that being our weekly candle if we just nuke a little harder and then it's just snap back.
All right, Tucker, can you do the percentage gain from the high of that and then the percentage gain from the low of that? Just because I want people to have context, I'm buying lower.
What? To the highs?
No. So from the low to the high, yep. So 300%. And we won't even say all the way. So more like 280, something like that. And then from the low to the from the high to the high. So 220. So you're literally trying to buy lower for like 40 more percent and risking your entire move for 40%.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, right? You're risking your complete entry because if you miss this move, or if you I won't say this move, if you were to miss this move that happened in 2020, how much higher would you have to buy before that thing stopped, Tucker, and consolidated?
Hang on.
Wouldn't it be pretty much January almost? Because I wouldn't even count that little type of flutter you got going on right there.
I mean,
at that point, you're probably not even worried about Bitcoin. You're already trying to work your way down the risk curve.
Yeah, you're trying to play catch up.
Yeah,
essentially, right? You move from softball to freaking baseball, 90-mile-per-hour balls. Like,
by the way, guys, we've been running for 76 minutes.
Oh man, I think it might be time, guys.
I mean, dude, that's where we are, man. That's where we are.
We're at the bear market bottom of next cycle, Tucker.
We're here. We're here. We had this already. Where is it?
Now,
and keep in mind, this is the spot where you were talking about, Max, where you said this is where you wanted to be. This is the side of the market you wanted to be on.
We had that already. We had that. This was the ETF. It's not going to look the same because we had the ETF, but like the vertical accumulation was real. It looks more like that than it does like August, where it's just a part.
You hit it on the head, and look, it never came back and retested that vertical accumulation.
I mean, either way, you're gonna tear, but like,
no, but look how much higher that is on the vertical accumulation. Now go back to the other one.
I'd rather it be like a nuke sell-off rebound like that than
Yeah, but go to the current area, the current vertical accumulation zone, just like that one. You're basically in that range now, right now.
Yeah, where did you nuke back to? I mean, the top of it, basically, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know, man. It's either here, it's like 37K. Either way, I could care less, honestly.
Yeah, I mean that price difference doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, here's the deal. We're going to call it here. This is a good place to wrap it up. But of course, we will be back tomorrow. Guys, thanks so much for being here. As always, please like and subscribe if you have not yet. This is Market Check brought to you by Because Bitcoin. This is our full cast of 5 guys. Got Jackus, me, Snorlax, Will, and Tucker. We are live Monday through Friday here on the Because Bitcoin YouTube channel, doing Market Check, 10:55 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. Furthermore, if you check out the first link in the description below, that will take you to our website where you can sign up for our premium Discord, where we have basically 2.5 hours to sometimes even 3 hours a day of private voice calls, one at the New York session open and the other at the New York session close, where all of us basically congregate and we talk price, charts, narratives, basically every single thing that you would need to know in the markets. We are there for our community 24/7. And you will absolutely feel the difference that it makes if you are an active market participant being in that Discord. So definitely consider checking that out. Limited time offer, guys. If you want a $50 discount, we got a few spots left on. I don't even know how many are left, but there is a limited time coupon. If you go check out Jackus's Twitter bio, there's a little discount for you guys. But again, it's very, very limited time offer. Not quite sure how many of those are left. So definitely check that out. And also, if you want early access to our new flagship product called the BB Terminal, which is launching very soon.
definitely consider hopping in our Discord because the prices are going to jump as we bundle our services between a Discord, a Telegram, and the BB terminal. Whenever that launches, which again is coming up very, very soon, you will want to be grandfathered into the current cost of $149.99 per month. And again, it's a great experience. The BB terminal is for sure an enhancement of the Discord. It will be an enhancement for literally everything, as it's an awesome product. But you will love the Discord. It's $5 per day. It will definitely be worth it. So consider checking that out. It's in the description below. But I'm going to send it over to Tommy to say a final farewell.
Real quick, Max, can we rename all future promotions Snickers?
Sure will.
That's the code. That's the code. We did the codes. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tommy. You can say your final farewell.
No, thanks, Max. I'm so excited for you guys to be able to see BB Terminal, and we are creeping up closer and closer to you guys finally being able to use it and experience it. But I won't say too much more. I'll keep it fairly quick, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Reminder that we have Market Talk with the legendary King Wappy at 4:15, 4:30 Eastern time. Typically, that's when the show starts, depending on how long our call with our Giga Chats goes in the afternoon. And of course, we'll be back for another episode of Market Check around 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow and every day, bringing you guys coverage on all things markets, trades, and everything in between. We have a lot of fun on this show, but sometimes even agger. Last week we caught or not even last week. I guess it was Monday. We caught some sort of local low. It might have been Friday. It was a fun show, but tune in for more of that if that's your kind of thing. But y'all have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow, like I said, and thanks again for tuning in.